Hello friends, Tanya here with day 4 of the Spellbinders 2025 13 days of Craft-O-Ween, and are you ready to see what day 4 brings? We have an adorable ghost with a slice of pizza, a little pumpkin, a banner that says boo, and a cat leaping across the room. Here we have our cute little ghost, and it is a 2-layer ghost. And if you've seen the Simon Hurley release that came out just a few days ago, it's similar, but not quite as, I don't know, creepy. This one's a little more cute. The others are pretty cute too, but it's called Boo Crew. It's stinking adorable. So if you weren't able to get the Craft-O-Ween box, the Boo Crew does have this fun set of ghosts that are similar to this one. Very, very cute. I just added the second layer so you can see the folds of the ghost's sheet. And then I put a little bit of black cardstock behind his eyes. The pumpkin actually cuts 2 layers. So you've got a backer with the stem and the detail piece with the smile and the little eyes. Then we have the banner that cuts out the solid backer with the strings, and then a die that cuts the individual banner pieces. So it's one die that cuts 3 pieces that say boo, B-O-O-O, or sorry, B-O-O, not 3 O's, just 2. And I cut this several times in 3 different colors. So I will ultimately be able to make 3 banners with the die cuts that I've created. Here is that drippy, lovely, yummy looking slice of pizza. We've got the crust layer and then the sauce layer. Mine happens to have a red sauce. You can make your sauce whatever you would like. I'm just going to line that up on our die cut piece here. And it's a little tricky to figure out at first, but once you've done it once, it really makes a lot of sense. Just going to you do want a little bit of that crust showing on the bottom. There are some embossing lines on the pizza crust to help you figure out where you're going with that. I think there are. And then you have the cheese layer on top. This almost looks like a pepperoni pizza. Next, we have this cute little cat, and I'm just going to take some white cardstock and color it with a little bit of yellow Copic marker because that was just the easiest thing for me to do at that particular moment. I did color the white cardstock with a Copic marker to do the cheese also. Sometimes that's just the quickest and easiest way to do that. Those are all the dies for that die set, or for that day. Today we're also going to use the nested postage labels and tag die set. And we're going to use 3 of those, no, 4. So there's a postage edge and there's a stitched layer for each size. And or for most of the sizes. And I cut several of those, and we're going to make kind of a collage. We're also going to take the 3D embossing folder from September of last year of 2024. It's called Pumpkin Patch, and it is still available. And we're going to use that to emboss several of the pieces. This is going to be an A2 size card, so a 5.5 by 4.25 inches. And this was die cut with the nested postage die set. We're also going to use the Golden Hour Solar Paste, and I'm going to add some shimmer and shine to these pumpkins to help them stand out just a little bit more on that white cardstock. I want this to really give that image of a pumpkin patch behind these collage pieces here. And I just use my fingertip to pick up a little bit of the solar paste and run it over the raised portions of this 3D embossed panel. Once I have that completed, I'm going to start test fitting some of these different elements, and then I'm going to take a sentiment from the Scully Better Press plate here, and it is saying, what does it say? It says, "Hey there, pumpkin," which really fits the theme. Now that is a Better Press plate set that came out last year, I believe, and it is super, super cute. I just wanted that sentiment. It's a great size and it makes a great sentiment. I'm going to use my Precision Layering A2 set A, and I'm going to do some partial die cutting. I've better pressed this sentiment with some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink and some watercolor paper from my stash. And I am going to tape the die on my sentiment here. I'm going to cover only part of the die because I don't want it to cut all the way through. I want to be able to move that die after I've partially die cut it and finish cutting one long strip here. I just wanted something that was about this width, and I can adjust the length by doing partial die cutting. I am terrible at cutting straight edges around a sentiment. I don't have that skill. I would rather do partial die cutting. It works out so well for me. Now adding a little bit of extra cardstock behind that sentiment is going to help it stand out on our card front. So I'm taking scraps from the piece that we just die cut this sentiment from, and I am going to add that to the back of the sentiment banner that we have created. Now this has a little extra height and sturdiness and dimension. Next, I'm going to take some elements from the Halloween Wonder. This is from the Envelope of Wonder collection from a couple of years ago, and that is also still available on the Spellbinders website. And we're going to take some elements to add to our card. We've got this really cute kitty, and I took a piece of pink cardstock and cut that down to fit behind his eyes and his nose. I want him to have a pink nose and green eyes. So I added a little bit of Copic green behind or on the pink cardstock where it's going to be behind the eye holes on this cute little kitten's face. Once I have that adhered, I'm going to take another piece of black cardstock and adhere that behind our kitty's head. And that's just going to give it a little extra height. We're not going to see the back of this. It's going on the card front, but I wanted that little extra detail. I'm also going to add the little insides of the ears. So I die cut those from pink, the same pink that I die cut the nose from. These are pretty easy to add to our cute little kitty's head. If you have this in your stash, there are a lot of cute elements in the Halloween Wonder die set. If you don't have it, it's a nice one to add to your collection. I'm going to add double layers of cardstock. I cut these little kitten's paws twice, and we'll add those to his face so it looks like he's peeking into or out at our card or at the reception. I think I can talk. Out at the recipient of our card. I'll adhere that to one of the collage pieces here that we're going to add to the front of the card. And I'm also going to add our little pizza slice like it's resting on the top edge of this piece. I have to tie that into the theme of the card. We're also going to take these bats from the Halloween Wonder die set, which one of these layers has been spritzed with pearlized water. I found some black cardstock in my rainbow of paper scraps that had been spritzed with the pearlized water. That is just perfect pearls added to some water in a spray bottle. This bat has 2 layers. I doubled the wings because I wanted it to be a little extra sturdy and have a little extra depth. And then there is also a die that is the body. So you could add glitter cardstock to one of those layers and have a contrasting black cardstock, or you could do black and gray, or you could make your bats any color that you like. This is paper crafting. It doesn't have to be realistic at all. So now we have our 2 different size bats. We're going to add our banner to our ghost. It fits perfectly, looking like he's holding this banner that says boo. He's so cute. And then we're going to add the rest of our elements to the front of the card. Now I have my A2 size cardstock or card base here. I've added extra cardstock behind the pumpkin patch embossed panel. We'll get that nicely centered on our card base. Now this card could be anything. It does not have to be Halloween. It's a really fun fall themed card. You could use it for whatever you would like. Now the orange cardstock that I have cut from the nested postage labels and dies, has some stitching on it, and I cut, I die cut and embossed that on an orange piece of cardstock and adhered that to the actually postage edged die. I've added extra cardstock behind all of these layers because I want there to be lots of nice depth and dimension. Our little tiny postage piece here is going to get that little cute jack-o'-lantern. And so we have a kitty, we have the ghost, and we have that cute little pumpkin. It's time to start assembling the front of our card. I'm going to add the ghost on the left side of the card. Then we will add the cat on the lower right portion of the card. We're going to use our sentiment strip to figure out the placement of our pumpkin, and we want to add some of those bats there. Let's add a little bit of glue. The left end of the sentiment is going to overlap the ghost's postage edge die a little bit. And the pumpkin is going to go in the upper right hand corner ultimately. And we're going to add a bat next to the pumpkin on the front of our card. I think this is a really fun way to incorporate lots of elements to your card. Actually, this is the small bat. I don't add the large bat to that. And that is a really fun front of the card. On the inside of the card, I have to use that leaping cat. He wants that piece of pizza so much. He is flying across the room to grab that piece of pizza. So I'm going to adhere him, almost reaching the pizza. And then it'll be time to add the sentiment to the inside of our card. I'm going to pull out the stamp set that comes with the 13 days of Craft-O-Ween and pull out the stamp that says, I want a pizza you. I think it's so cute. And this really does carry this card into the entire fall season. You can use this for whatever you would like. Now that I have all of those elements on our card, it is done. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you did, now's a great time to subscribe to my channel. Give this a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And if you're interested in any of the product that I used today, check that description box below for a link to all of the products that I used. Until tomorrow, here are a couple more videos I thought you might enjoy. Bye-bye.